Let's get into this video where it's flat earther named King Nico is on FTFE's channel debating him, and ends up that Dave McKeegan is in the comments and says he'll come up, show him some of the stuff that he's seen from the final experiment, since this is what they're discussing. And it's quite funny. As you see, Nico loses his shit, and like a little beta boy, he rage quits. Let's have a look and see.
Their giant LED spheres used to fake videos. Hey, Mike JH asks, do you know how a 360 camera works?
But
Nico?
Inside a studio that has screens top to bottom, side to side, 360 camera is going to show. Listen, it's not going to.
That wasn't the question. The question was, do you know how they work?
Of course, I know how they work. I can bring one out right now. I got them all over the place. I got drones too. I know how drones work. So their drone footage ain't going to mean anything when they.
He says he knows how drones work, compared to like what was brought on FTFE, which is quite a nice little DJI drone. I mean, Nico. Yeah, not impressive. This is one I got out of Amazon years ago, and I went upstairs on charge. I just got for Christmas. It's not the kind of drone that they had there. It's not the one that Will Duffy had. Will Duffy had one that was worth probably nearly $1,000. Now it's worth like $30.
They show it. It's too late.
Did you just bring up a toy drone?
They should have had and took should have already.
Was that one of those drones you get from Temu?
Or put on a Google Drive or something, so we could all download it and see it, not wait for them to doctor it all up. So it's already.
No, the raw footage is going to be available. But did you just show me a drone that you bought off of Temu?
Temu, this is a DJI drone. So these drones are getting banned right now because of the fake alien invasion. They want to keep the skies clear.
Fake alien invasion. Oh my lord!
See the Project Bluebeam and the drones that are up there faking the images in the sky. So people like you are going to be like, "Oh my God, we're getting attacked by people from Mars or Pluto."
And Nico's too stupid to understand that the drones that are supposedly over the top of New Jersey are the size of SUVs. Not little tiny toy ones you can hold in your hand. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, is he?
Right, so now I'm bringing in Dave, and I want you to attempt to show him some respect, okay?
But why would I have to just bring him on?
Because if you're a decent person, you will attempt to show him some respect.
Something Nico really does struggle with. For some born-again Christian who thinks he's holy and stuff like that and wants to follow the teachings of Christ, he acts like a complete another knobhead.
Respect. Dave,
but
hello. How are you, my friend?
Decency, and you got people.
Hey, I'm talking to Dave. Give me a second. Hey, Dave, how you doing, buddy?
I'm very well, thanks, Greg. Yourself?
Aye, not bad. Have you finally had some sleep?
Yeah, although I seem to now have more of a headache than I did beforehand.
Yeah, I understand why. Dave, this is Nico. Nico says that you lied and faked everything that you did.
Yeah, it was quite an interesting conversation to listen to.
Don't misquote me. So, hi, Dave, I'm Nico. So what I actually said that you lied about. So you guys went to Antarctica. That's great. I don't know how you got permission, but you got it, and you ended up there at the Union Glacier. I am not saying that you were not there at the camp, but what I'm saying is that damn footage with the 24-hour sun orbiting around the supposed camp, or wherever you were 5 miles away from the camp, was done in a studio.
And Nico keeps making these claims, and the evidence he's provided to back these claims up, nothing. Zip, zilch, nothing. He thinks that because he has said it, that is more than enough evidence. That's not the way it works, Nico. You're going to make accusations like that, you better bring the receipts there, buddy. But I fear you won't have those.
Okay, so you're not calling me a liar, but you're calling me a liar.
I'm saying that the footage of a 24-hour sun disproving, right, the flat Earth model that we've proved for many years. So
I have asked countless flat earthers to provide this proof or this evidence that the Earth is in fact flat. We don't want empirical, demonstrable evidence. And all I've ever gotten is globe denial and conjectures. I've never seen a scrap of evidence. Every time a flat earther claims he's done measurements, the measurements tend to never are produced. They tend to just kind of disappear, and they just say, "Trust me, bro." But the demand of evidence and measurements of anybody who believes in the globe, but they refuse to ever show a measurement they've ever done. Either for one, they've never done it, or two, it disproves their fallacies in their flat Earth religion, and they don't want to do that. So, if you watch Beyond the Curve, or where Jaren does that, he proved the globe.
So you guys chose now all this timing during, nah, it's fake. I know 100%. So I want to know from you, how did you get permission? What resources did you have to go through? Which governments gave you permission? And where's your allegiance like? What are your thoughts on Jesus Christ and the Holy Bible? So yeah,
how do we get permission? It's very. I'll tell you how we got permission, Nico. It's very, very. It's a bit of a complicated one. We called up ALE and said, "Can we go to Antarctica?" And they said, "Yeah."
Flat Earthers fail to actually know, because they're just not smart enough, is anybody can go to Antarctica as long as you have the money and you got a passport. You can go.
That was the sum of it. They do these trips multiple times every year. We met a group of people in Punta Arenas who were going out there 2 days before us to run the ice marathon. The ice marathon was on the news here in the UK. When we got the plane back from Antarctica, the plane didn't fly over empty. It was full of people who were arriving for their few days in Antarctica.
Ryan, you got that all on footage?
Got what all on footage?
The whole trip. You guys got the trip of a lifetime, the opportunity to go there, and we're still waiting to see all this non-stop video footage that we've been wanting to see for decades.
Yes. So, So yes, I do have to humbly apologise about that as well, because I did hear your previous complaint that we've not already uploaded the terabytes of footage and made it publicly available. So I would like to apologise for being human and, needing some sleep. But no, I didn't personally record everything, but MC Toon did. He pretty much had his GoPro camera running non-stop from when I arrived in Punta Arenas. Him, Will, and Jonathan were walking back from the back to the hotel from a restaurant that they'd been to. There was only the three of them there. He had his GoPro on a stick recording that. Before everyone else had arrived, he was already recording. And he was still recording in the airport after I'd left and everyone else had left. So he has recorded pretty much the entirety of that trip from start to finish. He had 4 power banks the size of house bricks, constantly cycling, recording everything, and he's been trying to upload it as and when he can. I don't know, I haven't got the link for it. I'm sure you can go and ask him where it is or when it'll be available. He's recorded everything.
He did say that he's taking a day or two to spend time with family, because obviously he's missed a lot of family time recently. But he is in the process of uploading it all. But again, terabytes of footage takes time to upload, even with the fastest of internet connections.
What a lot of flat earthers fail to realize is that most people who even argue against the flat earth and defend the globe or defend their ideologies, our lives do not revolve around flat earth. Our whole personality and everything we are does not revolve around the shape of the earth. 90% of flat earthers, their whole personality, their whole life, their whole ideology revolves around being a flat earther. And that's all they do. They obsess over it. Most people that do what I do, MC Toon does, or Craig at FTFE, or anybody else, don't obsess and live life obsessing over this all the time. We see some stupid videos that flat earthers put up, and we debunk them because it's honestly low hanging fruit and it's easy, because everything they say is pretty much bullshit. But yeah, we do have families and lives. Unlike most flat earthers, we don't live in our mom's basement and eat noodles all day long. We have other things to do. I got a wife and kids. MC Toon's got a wife and kids. Craig's got a wife and kids. David Keegan's got a wife and kids. We have lives. And our lives don't revolve around the shape of the earth. We just, as a hobby, just destroy flat earth claims because it's fun and it gives us entertainment. That's all. unlike flat earthers who are just obsessive and their whole personality is the flat earth. So, yeah, sometimes they have to realize this. We are regular people who have regular lives, jobs and families and commitments.
Okay.
What else was I going to say? So you acknowledge we were in Union Glacier Camp, so presumably the stuff at Union Glacier Camp you acknowledge is in Antarctica, yes?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so
I saw the flight. I watched everything. I saw the flight from Punta Arenas to the landing. I watched it in 360. That's not a problem, right? There's no reason to fake that, right? So
okay.
So Nico admits he watched the footage of the time lapse and them going and landing in Union Glacier, and there's cameras at each side. Dave McKeegan had his camera on one side, and then Critical Think had a camera on the other side. Both did 24 hours time lapse flying from Punta Arenas into Union Glacier. And Nico says he admits that and he's happy with the footage. But in that footage, did you ever see the dome? Because they flew right over the site that they ended up going about a mile and a bit, 2 miles to, from the main camp of Union Glacier. Did you ever see the dome that he claims is there? No. He's happy with that footage. So right there, he's admitting that he's seen the footage he's happy with, and there was no dome there. So he's actually debunked himself. Good job, Nico. You're an idiot.
That's fine. I just want to check this here. I just want to check this here. So you acknowledge that we didn't fake the footage from taking off from Punta Arenas, flying to Antarctica, going to Union Glacier Camp.
Yeah.
That is us
all
in
that
Antarctica.
Is real. You guys can prove that, and I'm not going to say that that's wrong. You guys are going to have footage of you guys sleeping in the heated tents or whatever it is and walking around that area. But I'm saying that there's going to be parts where you traveled supposedly 5 miles to do the shoot for the 24-hour sun, and obviously that is not at the Union Glacier Camp because you obviously can't see it in the footage, so you had to travel away. And what I am saying is that because I know for a fact, because God says the sun is not going to do an orbit east to west 24 hours in the South Pole.
So his reasoning, his proof of that the 24-hour sun can happen is because God says, his God. And Nico, I'd like to know, which God are you talking about? Because there's 3,000 different gods for different religions around the earth. So which God are you referring to? And it's only one God? And if you're referring to one God, then you deny the existence of 2,999 other gods. So, which God? And show me where he said that, and show me where God, your God themselves, said those exact words. Because I think what you're referring to is a book that men wrote and rewrote and retranslated and rewrote and retranslated over 700 different times from stories that for 1,000 years ago, thousands of years ago, and they're written by men hundreds of years ago, and it's passed down, and certain things were left out, they fully admit this, and certain things are put in, and certain words and things were changed to form a narrative that the church wanted. And you see your God said this. But you can't prove your God said this, because you never heard from your God. You read it from a book that some priests in a church wrote down, and then it was retranslated over and over again. Because he's reading the King James Version, which is retranslated from another version, from another version, from another version, from another version, from another version. So, is it actually accurate? Probably not even close now.
So, the only way that could have been baked is through the means of virtual studios called the Volume, where you can have screens decked out all around you and above you too. So that's valid.
Okay. So Union Glacier Camp, we were actually in Antarctica at Halfway Point, which is the name of the place that we were at where we were filming. You're saying that wasn't in Antarctica, that was in this dome? Am I understanding you correctly here?
Or did they take the dome to Antarctica?
Away from the camp to when you did the shoot. So the shoot wasn't done at the camp. It was miles away from the camp, correct?
It wasn't 5 miles away, but yeah, it was a drive away.
About 1.8 miles.
So you guys had to drive
logs.
from the camp to the location spot where you set up the cameras and captured the video with the sun doing a 24-hour orbit with 24-hour daylight. So is there footage of you driving from the camp to this spot to do that shoot?
Yes.
Okay. And then, that's good because I want to see that. And then is it going to show the whole setup? Is it going to show that you never drove from the camp to a studio and went inside that had screens made to look like the spot you were in so you could
yes,
fake?
Like I said, MC Toon had a GoPro on an 8-foot long selfie stick that he was waving around non-stop. He filmed us getting into the big orange truck, driving out of Union Glacier Camp, up and around the loop, to the site that we were filming at, and we didn't drive through some bloody big dome wall.
Right.
Getting
don't make
out.
it sound like it's crazy because there's domes in Antarctica. There's the listen, I posted it today.
No, you're right, Nico. It's not crazy at all. It's far more logical. Your explanation is far more reasonable than you might be wrong.
For a dome. The first dome was put there in 1970. So don't make me sound like a fucking idiot.
Wait, what? The first CGI screen dome was put in Antarctica in the 70s, did you say?
I never said it was a screen dome, but I said dome structures have existed in Antarctica for the last 50 plus years.
What man-made dome structures?
Yes, man-made dome structures.
Now what Nico's referring to is this dome here. Now this is a dome that they had at the South Pole, and it was actually deconstructed in 2010. And it was nearly as big as he thinks it was. Or Nico's referring to the one that used the Mandalorian. I'll show you how it was actually to be set up, how much work it actually takes. He thinks this was not there when they flew over because you couldn't see it, and they flew right over the site that they actually ended up traveling to do the filming for the 24-hour sun, away from, because they had to get out of the shadow of the mountain that is near the Union Glacier main camp. So they went 2 miles away, and you can actually see where they had moved the little shed that they could stay in one of the footage. I think it was from Critical Think. So check him out if you want. I think he's put that video up. And so he thinks that they somehow set this up within 20 minutes after they went there, but you couldn't see it from somewhere. I'll show you what Nico's trying to say that they had in Antarctica. You tell me if this is feasible. So it's the same technology that they're talking about. Now you can see how high this is. This guy standing in front of it. And now they're setting this up. Now this is in a warehouse, and it's the same. I think this actually is the same one that Nico's trying to refer to. Now you tell me how they're going to have this in Antarctica and would have set it up and had it all ready to go within minutes, right? Now, from what I know, this takes a couple weeks to be able to ship in, to get set up, to get all calibrated. It's, and all the equipment and stuff like that. You didn't see any of that there. So Nico's just coping, and he's just making crap up, trying to cling on to his fallacious ideology. So this is what he's referring to, and it's not even a complete dome.
For what purpose?
Bring it up right now.
What?
It's called,
How big are these domes, and what are they for?
But they have domes there. So the fact that they have domes that could be put together and taken down in the 70s, they can do it again. So like they just did last week with this.
You do know that building something isn't the same as building a bunch of TV screens.
Okay, it's the geodesic dome at the Amundsen Scott South Pole. So
and what was that for?
At the other barracks or whatever you want to call it there, they had a dome there. So there's structures there.
That was a glass dome I showed you before. It actually was dismantled in 2010. It took over a year to dismantle. In fact, it took longer than that because it was built in the 1970s. They used it up to 2008, and then it took time. They decommissioned it, took all the stuff out of it because they had made a new station that was more suited to their purposes. They used it for storage a bit, but it was gutted out. And then over the course of the summertime in 2009 to 2010, they dismantled it and took it down. And they had big cranes and stuff there to take it down. So did we see cranes and stuff at Union Glacier? No, we didn't. So there was no dome like that there. You would have seen the big crane sticking up. Well, if they're building when they were doing filming when they first landed and stuff like that, and as well as all the footage from the marathon that they had there, you would have seen it there because they ran out towards that way. You would have seen the big dome out that way, big gleaming dome, big glass structure like that. You would have seen it. It wasn't there. There was no construction equipment and stuff like that there. And it's not going to be put up and thrown down, threw up and put down in a matter of an hour. That took nearly a year to take down, and probably even longer to put up.
Okay, Nico, can I just ask you a question here? Because I know Craig's just shown you the footage of the plane landing that I sent him before, because I thought that was a pretty good representation. I'd seen your argument about that you couldn't see one camp from the other. The reason you couldn't see one camp from the other is because the ice between us and the camps, but between one camp and the other, wasn't flat, right? It had a crest to it, which is why you can't see the camp. The moment you put a drone up in the air to get above that curve, you could see it. As you're driving back to camp, you could literally see the camp come into view over the curve. Okay. So
but none of that footage has been posted, right? So how am I supposed to know?
No, I know it hasn't. I filmed it. It's just all sporadic bits that I've not managed to put together yet. I'm not just going to put random-ass clips with no context, right? I'm going to put everything together in a more structured video. Craig just told me he was coming on and talking to you because you think it's all fake. I'd seen the video that you put, and one of the arguments I'd seen you make was you can't see one camp from the other, and I thought the plane footage was a pretty good demonstration to explain why you couldn't see the camp. Now, just to be clear here, right, I filmed that footage of the plane coming into land. That plane is landing at Union Glacier Camp. So surely you don't think I'm standing inside the dome when I filmed that plane. So where was I standing when I filmed that plane landing?
Yeah, I'm saying that there's two filming spots. There's the real spot, the actual spot that's not in the studio where planes are coming in, that you can film and say, look, we're really here. And then there's an other spot, which is when you did. So when I saw the 24-hour video of the sun doing the orbit around you guys, there's no planes, there was no camp, it's just the sun doing 24 hours. That is my beef right now, right?
Okay.
Because I'm saying that video shoot, not the other plane landing, none of that. I'm not arguing about that. I'm talking specifically about the video time lapse of the sun doing a 24-hour orbit, remaining lit the whole time in the South Pole.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get at is the two sites are about a mile apart from each other. In a straight line as the crow flies, it's barely a mile. You have the camp, you have the runway, then you have a bit of open territory that we couldn't venture into because, I don't know, it was deemed unsafe or whatever, and then halfway point. The reason it was called halfway point is because it was the halfway point of the ice marathon that had ran 2 days previously. That the hut was already there because it was used in the ice marathon. The track.
So wait, you're telling me that the same time that you guys went there and had this organized, that there was conveniently and coincidentally an ice marathon taking place there? Are you sure that wasn't a virtual studio setup crew? Ice marathon so far.
Oh my lord!
Now you're telling me that there's an ice marathon there. That's the cover up. It was not ice marathon. That's the freaking setup crew that got there before to set up the fucking studio.
Oh my
god! Get yourself into big fucking shit with this one. I've got your number.
Oh my lord!
The cope that Nico is just displaying here is just so crazy. It's almost lunacy. I mean, he's getting up in a white jacket here, give himself a hug. Yeah, that ice marathon is there every fucking year, Nico. Around the same time, weather permitting, if the weather's crappy, they push it back, as this is has been communicated many times. But yeah, the ice marathon, it happens, and then they do it at the North Pole. Granted that the weather conditions are feasible and they are able to land a plane and stuff like that. It's been canceled last couple of years because they weren't able to get a runway set up in the North Pole to do it because the weather wasn't conducive to do the ice marathon, and that's just part of these extreme sports that these people do. But yeah, that ice marathon happened, and it happens every year. You absolute bellend.
Oh, dude. I can't wait to bring this one to court, Nico, if that's what you're thinking. I'll
footage. Get the raw, unedited footage. Stop trying to threaten court to weasel your sodomite self out of this. Because
Nick, come on. The way you're talking, mate, it sounds like you're the one that wants to go to fucking court with this one. Do you know what I'm going to do? Seeing as how you seem to have all these wild ideas of everything that's going on.
Now, but I've already proven that it can be done.
Honestly, Nico's proven nothing. Absolutely fuck all. All he's done is just said, I think this is how it's done because this technology exists somewhere in the world, so it must have been used there in Antarctica, out in the middle of nowhere, 100 miles from the shore, and flown in by some sort of plane, and fucking he's just... There's something called Occam's razor, right? All things being equal, the simplest answer is most likely the correct one. So is it this huge massive conspiracy? A marathon is run every year. Suddenly it was a crew that had to set up this massive, huge dome that takes weeks, if not months, to set up, and needs construction equipment and loads of electronics and stuff like that. But nobody's seen it there. Nobody's seen this dome being set up. This dome that should have been there, but yeah, on the plane ride coming in on a very clear day with video cameras on each side of the plane. Nobody's seen it, and it's never filmed once on there, which anybody can look online and look at. If a plane trip that was tracked, one of the most tracked planes trips in the world with all the GPS stuff like that, so we know exactly who went there. We know where they went the whole time down there. You can track their movements and all the videoing and everything like that. All the flat earthers there, and they're videotaping it, and not a single one of them has said they can see a massive dome and they went into a dome. Do you not think Jaron and Witsit would have been absolutely over the moon to put that up and then let everybody know? Because that's pretty much the whole point that why Witsit went down there, is that Jaron didn't want to go down by himself because he wanted to have backup. So, yeah, I mean, all this stuff there, they would have loved to have done that. They would have been famous, world famous. But yeah, that never come out. And now suddenly this random fellow calls himself King Nico, but is, thinking probably little, butt boy Nico, thinks that he's got this all by just saying it, but he has absolutely no proof. He hasn't proven anything at all. All he's done is prove his own incongruities.
And the fact that you're sitting here like, oh, no way, they have virtual studios? No. Fuck off, you fucking cunt.
Oh, my lord!
I'm exposing the shit out of every single one of you. You're done!
You seem a little triggered, matey boy. Look at this. Right, I'm showing on screen right now the Antarctic Marathon that happened.
I just said it's a cover-up for the studio setup crew that had to go there and set it up.
This happens every year. Stupid. This marathon happens every year.
That's all right, Craig. I'll let me pull up my screen a second here.
Yeah, mate. There you go. You should be able to screen share now. Oh wait, there you go. Sorry.
So Nico thinks that's some sort of construction crew that's covering all up. Do you see anybody there wearing any kind of construction equipment? Do you see any construction equipment at all? Do you see anybody with tools? Anybody that's even suited to do any kind of construction? All I see is a bunch of people in different kind of like thermal wear, ready to run a marathon. There's not a single person who's carrying anything even remotely, not even a hammer or a saw or even a screwdriver there. So yeah, Nico's just clinging at whatever he can find. He's just making himself more and more of a fool. So his name's not King Nico. It's Jester Nico, or Fool Nico.
Where am I? Let me just...
Nico, I'm totally cutting that for a short. That was amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely one for the books there. I mean, Nico's just losing his shit. He's getting so angry because he's just being made a fool of, and everything he says is being countered so easily and effortlessly, and he actually has no proof. He's just trying to fool everybody to think that he does. And he's getting really angry because they're not taking him for his word. I think he's used to people believing everything he says and thinking that it's God's honest truth. And Craig and Dave Keegan are going, nah, mate, you're talking bollocks. You're just full of shite.
Is that is that showing up here?
Yep, let me just get that on screen for everyone here. One
you
sec.
guys don't fucking know me, man. You can cut whatever you want in this video. There's already crazier shit on the internet I posted myself. You don't fucking know me. I ain't no beta bitch sodomite like
you are the beta bitch here. Let me be clear. You are the beta bitch.
No, funnily enough,
here.
Nico, guess what, mate? You don't fucking know me either.
Well, you're gonna fucking know me because I'm gonna be fucking all over you, boy, until you get all the fucking footage posted for the fucking world to see. We're fucking waiting.
And will you admit that you're wrong when it's shown, you piece of crap?
Away with this shit. You're gonna fucking crush
Nico,
the belief
dumbass.
system in God.
Wait,
I
Nico.
have a fucking problem with that, bud.
Nico,
I'm a
buddy.
fucking Christian.
So you're not a Christian.
Yes.
You're the furthest thing from a Christian that I've ever met, actually. So when the footage is posted, will you admit that you're wrong?
But that shit ain't gonna come out my mouth because I ain't wrong about nothing.
Yeah, of course, you're never wrong.
I'm not wrong
right,
about
no,
Jesus.
Nico, now I want you to be
this.
quiet for just 2 minutes and let Dave present what he's presenting. Behave like a good boy.
I mean, is that a mouth of a good Christian boy? I was raised Christian, I can tell you right now. That's not how a good Christian speaks. Not at all. I mean, yeah, that's definitely somebody who's trying to compensate for something very tiny, and obviously feels very inadequate in many, many different ways. That's definitely a little beta boy. Nico, the beta boy. But yeah, that's not Christian. He's not Christian. He's he's definitely part of the other side there, if you want to believe in all that. But definitely not a good person. So, Nico, no, you're not fooling anybody. Not anybody that's worth their salt. You're just fooling yourself. A little beta bitch. But hey, you can keep doing all you want and just keep shouting and, saying you're a Christian and acting like such a piece of crap. Wow. Well, if your God's real, he sees you. He knows what you're doing. And you're going to answer for it.
Dave, the floor is yours.
Yeah. Cheers, Craig. I'll just one other point, and Nico might not appreciate this, but since you'd already acknowledged there was terabytes of footage that we would be releasing in the weeks gone by, it might have made more sense.
Handlers.
Nico.
Okay, great. It might have made more sense for you to wait until all of that had come out to then draw conclusions rather than look at one sped up time lapse and then come up with everything that you've come up with. But
I'm going to refute your post. But it's over. It's too late.
All right, Nico.
Okay. AI with Sora, with Google VO. I'm going to tell everyone it's friggin' AI generated. You're done.
Everyone's going to laugh
I'm sure they'll have fun listening to you, Nico. But just for reference, okay, what I've got here on screen now is going live tomorrow. This is the original 25-minute long 360 time lapse that camera recorded, right? That I took the crop out, that I took the time lapse from, okay? So this is the full 360 of us in this giant ass dome that you think we've built in the back end of nowhere, right?
It exists.
This is going live tomorrow. You can drool over it all you like.
Now I hope you've made it this far, because this is when it gets really funny. So just watch Nico just go loses it, because he just can't handle the fact that like he's been presented evidence that he can't counter whatsoever, because everything is just right there in front of his face, and the beta bitch comes out bad. Watch. He goes, watch. It's so funny.
Right? I'll point out a few little moments that I quite like. One particularly at 10 minutes, I think it was. Well, yeah, there it is. The orange truck's disappeared. Right? You can watch us climb into the back of the truck and fuck off down the road and not crash through any walls. Where are we? Oh, there it is. Yep, here we are. There we go. We're all climbing into the back of the truck. And then... Oh, I paused it.
So that can be easily
all
faked.
aboard, everyone!
So
Off we go down the road.
You just drove through that really expensive dome.
Footage. So this is how you fake that. That's pre-recorded footage put on the
no
screen.
Shit, diphead. It's not fucking live
getting into
now.
the truck and driving up into the distance. You guys are done. You cannot pull the wall over.
Wait. So that entire bit, Nico, are you claiming that entire bit of them getting out of that building and going into the vehicle is pre-recorded?
Yeah, they can put anything. They can have pre-recorded something and put it on the screens on the side and make it look like they.
Dave, do you have footage of you walking like from the camera to that like that hut?
And I know that's how these deceptions work.
Nico,
you guys
hold on.
Think you thought it all through?
No, hang on, Craig. I think we're being fooled here. I don't think Nico's real. I think he's AI.
He possibly, but really bad AI. some like shitty.
I'm not believing
Timu
anything
AI.
he says here. He's definitely CGI.
Exactly. That's the world we're in today. Don't believe anything you see on the internet, on these.
Oh, you can believe me, Nico. I don't believe a damn word you're saying because I was there.
Don't believe anything I say. And that's it. If you don't believe me, you're not gonna fucking sure as hell believe you, bitch. So
well, they are gonna believe him because he was there.
I'll believe me because these saw what actually happened and yours didn't.
But I still have my soul. I see everything. So fuck off, you sodomite.
Oh my god, you're so triggered.
I've got my brain.
Hey, Nico, so when there's footage of people walking from the cameras to the hut, what then?
Fuck off, right? I'm done.
Nico?
Bye.
Oh.
And that was it. Nico could not handle the evidence, and he ran away like a little scared girl. So, good job, Nico. You just showed just how, unsure you are of everything, and just how much of a little beta you really are. It's a sad, sad time, isn't it? Not really. Actually, it's quite funny. It is funny as fuck, because like most flat earthers, when they're presented with evidence that they just simply, they can't hand wave away. He tried, but he knew he was looking like a fool, and Dave was just making him look like an absolute little freaking tool. Then he ran away, and that was it. The rest of the whole time that FTFE was on there, it just became a Dave McKeegan interview because Nico ran away and didn't come back for a couple of days, and he came back with the whole Flerf reset, and still had absolutely nothing, no evidence, no nothing. But we'll watch the end of this hearing. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Nico ran away like a scared little bitch.
Rage quit! Rage quit! Good job, Dave. Yeah, you brought the footage, you brought the receipts, and he ran away.
Well, I knew you were having the debate. I knew I was putting the video out tomorrow. I thought it would just be what you needed to disprove this fucking dome idea was right there, but I couldn't get it out beforehand, so...
1,250 people just watched him cry and rage quit because you showed him 360-degree real-time footage. Oh my lord. Oh, that was just beautiful. I've never seen someone like that. Is the most cognitive dissonance I've ever experienced in a person. He started with the conclusion, well, I saw it and I knew it had to be fake because the Earth's flat.
Yeah, as soon as he said that, I was like, hang on, your big red flag was it doesn't match a flat Earth, so therefore it must be fake.
Oh my god. I've been watching some of his videos over the past day since we agreed to debate, and it's a gold mine. I don't know how I've not found this guy before, Dave. Everybody is a Freemason.
I watched about a 5-minute selection of the one you sent me before, and I had a bleeding headache. I couldn't watch the rest of it. The chroma key one was the funniest.
Oh my god!
Because he could chroma key out the distant mountains that are hinted blue. So his whole argument for the 24-hour sun is fake is basically snow is white.
Yeah. And he kept saying at the beginning how he's a video editor, so he knows what's real and what's not. Yet he's got no clue how fucking chroma key or 360 cameras work. And
No.
The crazy thing is the amount of people that have been trying to analyze...
brings up the... Oh, sorry,
go
Greg, you were breaking up there.
Sorry, go on. My bad.
Yeah, I was going to say, anybody who tries arguing the chroma key argument because of what happened with Jonathan's top is not a fucking video editor. Even Dirth managed to figure that one out.
Oh, God, yeah, if Dirth is fucking agreeing with you, then, you know... But I have never seen anything make people break down so much as this. It's been pure... It's been beautiful. And I think Will knew this would happen. And it's like he's tried to give us content for the next year or something.
Oh yeah, I think to be fair, like, I thought he was crazy planning all of this. Like, I think we all said it's not going to do what you think it's going to do. It might cause a bit of rumble. The blowout from it, I think, exceeded Will's expectations.
Oh, it's been absolutely crazy. People going this far as to say, yes, you were in Antarctica, but whilst in Antarctica, you also were inside a dome recording the sun that wasn't real. So they've got these... Somehow, they've managed to get to Antarctica, this modular screen system that they can just install that is big enough for you all to walk around in and stuff, and have a building in.
Yeah, and yet, funnily enough, it's a dome big enough to house all of that and the truck and go off into the distance and everything, but we couldn't see it from the fucking camp.
No, that you going in that truck was all pre-recorded, Dave. That was pre-recorded and put on the screens.
Yeah.
And
what's even funnier is I think it might be on Critical Think's video, in fact. I'm pretty sure, because we flew in alongside the camp. I've got a photo looking out through the plane to the window on the opposite side, and I could see the camp, which means halfway point where we were is on the left side of the plane where Critical Think was looking out. I'm pretty sure you could see that site in his video as we landed. And I don't remember seeing a big dome.
No, you would, if that was there. But he seems to think it's a dome that could be easily taken down and up really quickly. Like, if you look into the volume, like the technology he's talking about, like the modular display they used to film like the Mandalorian and the new Star Wars movies, it's modular in the sense that it takes about 3 or 4 weeks to set up the screens that you want each time. You know, it's not you can put it up in 20 minutes. He thinks
NASA's got this. He thinks NASA's got this new like fucking inflatable pop-up version.
Yeah. Well, he's convinced the whole thing was funded by NASA or something.
I think it must have been funded by fucking Inspector Gadget if he thinks we've managed to pull that one off.
So there you have it. Don't forget to follow me for more videos. Like, click the subscribe button, click the like if you like the video, comment down below, and don't forget, the Earth is a globe, gravity is real, space is actually out there, and you can see it every time when there's no clouds. Go out, have a look. It's gorgeous out there. And if you want to have a better look, buy yourself a telescope, because you know what? I think it's worth it. Thanks for watching, and see you again. Ah, yes. The good stuff. Always sweeten my coffee with the tears of Flerfs.